Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Tammy Washington Desencion, an author, speaker, and licensed financial professional, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this exciting journey. Living full-time in the beautiful Dominican Republic, I've discovered a world of opportunities beyond borders. Through my platform, Travel, Trade, Invest, I'm here to inspire and guide fellow Americans in exploring the endless possibilities of life abroad. Join me as we delve into the remarkable aspects of living in new cultures, uncover the keys to a fulfilling life abroad, and unlock the potential of real estate and investment opportunities. Through engaging discussions, expert interviews, and actionable advice, Travel, Trade, Invest aims to be your ultimate resource for embracing the world, creating wealth, and turning dreams into reality. Thank you for being a part of this vibrant community, and together, let's embark on a transformative journey towards a prosperous and fulfilling global lifestyle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting adventures and insights. Let's get started. All right, welcome to the call, everybody. Welcome to the Dominican Republic. Woo-hoo! So excited to see all of you guys on the call. Everybody, I'm really excited about tonight's call because this has been something that has been asked for over and over and over again. And I'm excited that tonight I get to bring something to you. So before we jump off the call, everybody, please go into the chat and put in the chat where you are tuning in from. I know we've got people from all over the country. I see California, I see Maryland, I see South Carolina. I see a few amazing folks on this call. And welcome everybody to co-vesting in the Dominican Republic. Welcome to another Travel, Trade, Invest call. So for tonight's call, I want you to do something. If you have any questions or comments that come up as I'm speaking, feel free to use the chat function. And then at the end, we will also do a Q&A as well, because I do want to make sure that if you do have any questions, that you can get all of your questions answered while we are here on the call. So welcome again, every single person. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Tammy Washington Desencion. I am an author, speaker, a licensed financial professional. I have been investing for the past, oh my goodness, over 5 years now. And I've been an expat for the past 4 years here in the Dominican Republic. And my husband and I have been helping other individuals invest in the Dominican Republic because we love this island. We love this place. Yes, it is a developing country, but we truly believe that it is one of the greatest places that a person can live. And so we get excited about telling people about the Dominican Republic and educating people on, how to buy property and what to do if you're interested in actually investing and making money here. So before we jump into what is co-vesting, the first thing I want to do, I want to just review some investing basics, right? Because we're going to use these as we look at what is co-vesting and why we really wanted to do this, okay? So some of the basics of investing that we all, know and practice is number one, buy low and sell high. The idea is you want to be able to purchase, whether it is property, whether it's stocks, whatever type of investment you have, you want to buy as low as you can and you want to sell as high as you can, right? That's how you make money. The second basic of investing that I absolutely love is own nothing, control everything. And the principle that we're going to be talking about tonight, that's exactly what we're going to be showing you how you can do that here in the Dominican Republic. The third investing basic is leverage other people's money. How many of you have ever heard wealthy people don't use their own money? They use the banks, they use investors, whatever. So we're going to talk about leveraging each other's money. And then we're going to talk about also the best time to buy real estate. Most of my friends who own lots of properties, anytime you ask them, when's the best time to buy real estate? They always say the same thing. Yesterday, yesterday, right? So we're going to be looking at the best time to buy real estate here in the Dominican Republic. And then thirdly, we're going to be looking at risk, right? Because that is a major point when it comes to investing, is being able to manage your risk. And we're going to show you how you can practice risk tolerance using the strategy that we're going to show you tonight, okay? Awesome. I see we still got more people coming in. All right. So now that we've kind of gone over the basics of investing, let's go over the basics of pre-builds here in the Dominican Republic. And yes, I'm going to center this conversation around pre-builds because these are the types of properties that we're going to look at if we want to use this type of investment. Okay. All right. So here in the Dominican Republic, and I do want to put the note that all developers are different. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is based on what some of the developers I work with are using. But just know that as we get into individual contracts, it may be slightly different. Right now, I work with 5 different developers, right? And they're all slightly different. So I'm going to give you some general overviews, all right? In general, if you're buying a property here in Punta Cana, generally it's going to be a condo or a home, right? You're going to reserve it with $1,000 to $5,000. What does that do? What happens a lot of times, people will come here on investment tours. Sometimes they even come on vacation and they say, hey, I want to see some property, right? But how many of you are walking around with $30,000 in your pocket? Not a lot, right? So what the reservation fee does is it basically reserves that unit so that no one else can purchase it. What if you go to a development and you see the perfect property for you, but there's only 1 2-bedroom left? Right? You have the ability to put down $1,000 that reserves it so that nobody else can touch that property. That also gives you the opportunity to hire a lawyer. Your lawyer will do their due diligence. Your lawyer is the one that does the property search, the title search, and anything else that has to do with that property to make sure that your property is safe and sound and that your contract is legit. Your contract has everything that protects you in it, okay? And so that reservation fee is usually anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, depending upon the developer. Some developers, especially land developers, they'll do percentages. So some of them will do like 3%, okay? The next step is within 30 days, usually you're gonna have to put down 10% to 20% of a deposit on that property, okay? So for example, let's say we had a $100,000 property that we're looking at out here. You put down $1,000 within 30 days, you would have to put down a full $10,000, right? So that would be an extra $9,000 that you would have to put down towards that property. The next step is that you go into a payment plan during construction. Again, all developers are different, but most of them are going to expect for you to pay anywhere from 30 to 40%, some of them 50% through the construction bill, all right? Most construction bills, depending upon where they are, if you get it when there's nothing but land, sometimes it can be 2 to 3 years. If that structure is, if they've already got the pool in place, they've already got buildings built, and they're now doing the next set of buildings or something like that, it might be 6 months. So based on the amount of time it's going to take to finish your unit, they will create a payment plan that works for you. And again, normally that's going to be 30 to 40%, sometimes up to 50% during construction, okay? And so at the end of construction, what happens then is you either pay the remaining amount, which is the other 50%, or this is what a lot of people do, you then go and get a mortgage for the remaining amount. So again, if we're looking at that $100,000 property, if we put $10,000 down as the deposit, if we paid, let's say we paid 30% through construction, so now we owe, what is that? 60%, thank you. 10% plus 30% is 40%. Now we owe 60%. That means that you would have $60,000 left on that contract. You could then go to a local bank here and mortgage that, get a mortgage for that $60,000. So here is what some investors have been doing, and doing very well doing this, okay? There are some people who are taking advantage of the new build rates. Remember when we talked about buying low, selling high? Here in the Dominican Republic, the absolute best rate you're ever going to get is when there is simply land, okay? As they start building, as they start putting the foundation on, as they start, creating buildings, as they start selling more units, the prices go up. So for example, one of the projects that I work with right now, a 1-bedroom from January through July of this year was $70,000. On July 31st, all the prices for that building, 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedrooms, all of them went up by 5%. So I was telling my people who wanted to buy there, listen, if you want to buy, just put your $1,000 down before July 31st. That way you lock in the price, okay? So what some individuals are doing, they're putting down the $10,000, they're paying the payment plan, $600 or $700 per month, okay, until it's built. At the end of that build, usually the price has gone up 30 to 50%, guys. 30 to 50%. And so what they do is they then sell it at the completed rate. Now, some of you might say, well, why on earth wouldn't everybody just do the pre-build? Because it is very difficult sometimes to look at a piece of land and to trust the vision of the developer, right? Even myself, sometimes I see land and I see posters. I'm looking at one right now across the street. It's nothing but land over there, but there's a big poster of what they're going to build. And you're like, do I really see it happening? So some people don't trust it. So they want to wait until it's actually built before they purchase, right? So the investors who are taking advantage of buying pre-build and selling when completed, they are taking advantage of own nothing but control everything. They have taken complete control over a unit that they never planned to live in, that they never planned to Airbnb. They're not going to worry about tenants or anything like that. They're simply buying and holding until it is built. Then they resell it to people who want to purchase it because, oh my gosh, look at this. There's an infinity pool. Look at this. There's a swim up bar. Look how beautiful this is. It's stepped from the beach, right? When you can see it, the price goes up. So that's pretty much how it works. So with that said, that's how new builds are built here in the Dominican Republic. That's how people generally purchase them. And so one of the big questions that I've been getting over and over and over again from investors is, man, I want to do that, but I don't have the full 40%. Is there somebody else that you know who also wants to buy, and maybe we can do this together? And so I kept running into that same question. And I said, you know what? There's nothing here, so I'm going to create it. So I created the CoVest Profit Blueprint, where we can take individuals who want to invest, pool their funds together, and allow them to take advantage of buying pre-build at the lowest rate it's ever going to be, and then selling when the project is in completion, okay? And so we're talking usually about 24 months, all right? So let's look at how this would work when it comes to co-vesting, all right? So number one, we're gonna purchase the properties at the lowest potential price, all right? And I'll show you some examples in a moment. So for example, Sun Village right now, you can get a 1-bedroom condo for $73,000, right? We would purchase it at that rate pre-built, okay? We would fund our funds together for the 40% needed during construction, and we would just go ahead and pay that up front, all right? Again, a new build would generally increase 30 to 50% after construction is completed. And so at the completed price, we sell it, pay off what is left over, and then divide the return amongst the investors. All right. So again, if we're looking at that $100,000 property, we would probably together put about $40,000 into that property to hold it for the 24 months. If it went up, let's say 50%, because you absolutely can purchase a 1-bedroom condo here in Punta Cana completed, okay, for $150,000. There's some right now selling close to the beach for $164,000, okay? So let's say it went up by 50%, so that's $150,000 is the new price. We sell it for $150,000, okay? We've already put 40%, we've already put $40,000 in there, and we owe $60,000 to the developer. Out of that $150,000, we would pay the $60,000, all right? And then we would divide the returns amongst the investors. And so you would get your initial investment back plus 50%. Does everybody understand that? And I will say also, and we'll go into the exact details, but it will also be minus the attorney's fees as well. So it'll be, you know, a little bit less than whatever it was that we sold for, okay? All right, so that is the general idea of co-vesting. Co-vesting is a collaborative investment approach where we'll pull multiple investors together, and this is going to give people who may not have $40,000 over the course of 24 months that they can invest, but maybe they have 10, maybe they have 5, maybe you have 8, but you're like, man, I want to take advantage of this. I have no desire to own in Punta Cana. I have no desire to live in Punta Cana. I have no desire to do Airbnb. However, I see a great investment opportunity if I can buy before they start building and then sell once the project is ready. Okay. All right. So if you guys have questions, just put them in the chat for me. And so some of the benefits, guys, we lower the risk, right? Because you're not making a full investment on your own, you're collaborating with others, okay? Also, you're not in a situation where you're having to go out and find other investors, because I have told people to do that. Oh, just find some family members to do it with. And sometimes the people are like, my family just doesn't get it. They don't want to do that, right? Or they don't see the big picture. So now what it is that we give you guys the opportunity. Sorry, that's my hubby. We give you guys the opportunity to be in a safe environment, because everyone puts their money in, and that money goes into a trust through the attorney. Okay. We combine our equity, and it increases our purchasing power so that we can actually take advantage of the opportunities that we have right now using these pre-sale rates. So let's put some actual numbers on the paper. All right, so here's an example of one of the properties right now that I am selling, which is Sun Village, okay? I do wanna say these are example profits, and I did all of this math myself, so if something is a little bit wrong, please forgive your sister here. All right, just know the general idea of what we're saying. So right now, the current price of a 1-bedroom for Sun Village is 73,000. That's the lowest 1-bedroom, meaning the smallest 1-bedroom that they have is 73,000 unfurnished. To lock in that investment, meaning the reservation fee plus the down payment plus the payment plan. I'm sorry. So the reservation fee, the down payment plus the payment plan over the course of that 24 months is going to equate to about $29,200 total. Okay. If we were to do it all in one lump sum, $29,200. Okay. The projected completion price, if we're using history that shows that most of these, by the time they're completed, they're sold for 30 to 50%, puts you around 94,000, okay, to 109,000. Somewhere in that range is what it'll probably sell for once the whole thing is finished, okay? So the potential returns are anywhere from 21,000 to 36,000. So if the 29,000 was divided amongst 4 investors, okay, that's less than $10,000 that they invested, and they're going to get 21,000 to 3,600, I'm sorry, 36,000 back. If we divide the profit, that means that each investor will have made anywhere from $5,475 to $9,125. Okay. And this is with a lower price investment, investing less than $10,000. Does everybody understand that? So the profit margin would be anywhere between, let's just say roughly $5,000 to $10,000 over the course of 24 months, just from that small investment. All right. Let's look at what it would look like for a more expensive property. Okay. For a more expensive property, Bavaro sold. These are villas that are being sold here in Punta Cana. These are 3-bedroom villas that are being sold with a jacuzzi in the back and a yard. All right. So these are a little bit more expensive, right? These are 241,000 unfurnished. So to lock in that full investment, meaning 10% down, 30% during the construction period, monthly or quarterly, okay, it would be a total of 96,000 that pretty much would go into that property pre-built. All right. If history serves us right and we continue doing what we're doing in this market, the projection completion price is going to be somewhere around 313,000 to 361,000. All right. So the potential returns as a group, that's 72,000 to 120,000, which brings you to about $18,000 to $30,000 per investor as their profit. All right. So no, you wouldn't make the 72,000, but 18,000, right? Because you broke up the investment. So you break up the return as well. So that's kind of the idea of what that would look like, okay? So what would your co-investment include, all right? Because one of the things that you have to always think about, especially when you're looking at investments, are what are the outside costs that nobody's telling you about, right? So here's a couple of things. When you want to purchase, you are going to have to hire an attorney. So we have an attorney here in Punta Cana that does all of our deals. She's really great. One of the things that I love about her is when she gives us a contract, it's in Spanish and in English, word for word, line for line, okay? That is something very important. If you're gonna do this on your own, please make sure your attorney does that. You don't wanna end up in some situation where your attorney, where your Spanish contract says one thing, your English contract says something else. So if you can, make sure that it shows up line by line on your contract, right? That makes everything better. She also does, again, like I said, free translation. There are some attorneys that charge you extra for translation because she works with a lot of Americans. That's already a part of her fee. So that's your investment is also gonna take care of any management fees. It's also going to take care of any sales and transfer tax. So what we did was, when I put these together, I put all of the fees in there. So basically at the end of the day, you're making one payment, you're making one investment. And then at the end, we take out from the profit any of the fees that were associated. And then the profits are divided amongst the 4 investors who are investing in that co-vest venture, okay? Again, all investments are held in a trust, and that just makes it safer for everybody, okay? All right, so basically at the end of the day, what that means is no other out-of-pocket costs for you. And then as far as the attorney and finding people, the management and all that kind of stuff, we handle all of that for you. So I put together some co-vest opportunities. Now, the first thing that you're gonna notice is with these co-vest opportunities, what I really wanted to do was I really wanted to focus on finding properties that were under 100,000 so that we could continue this idea of making kind of a small investment, but being able to control a large piece of real estate. All right. So everything I'm going to show you is my goal was to try to get it under 100,000. Okay. So here's the first one. And I'm doing a mix between land and buildings as well, because I know some of you are interested in land. Okay. So right now, you guys have heard a lot about the city of Barahona. I've been talking about it a lot. I've been taking people down there. We just had some land that opened up in Barahona. This is not, I already know I'm gonna get a lot of questions. This is not the property that I purchased. This is another property that has beach views, okay? And here's the thing, it's a lot less than the property that I purchased, so that's a good thing. That's why I chose to do this one for the co-vest, okay? So right now, we can get one of the lots, okay? Maybe not one of the front lots, but we can get one of the lots right now. We can lock it in for $28,000 total. All right. That means full ownership, and we can hold it and let the property gain value, because I bought my property back in January was when we first, went and did the negotiation and did everything for it. Now in August, the value of that property, what they're selling it for, is much higher than what it was when we actually purchased. So we got in at the best time, right when they got the titles. When it comes to land, please write this down if you guys are going to be doing more research about investing in the Dominican Republic. The absolute best price you're going to get on land is as soon as they get the title documentation from the government. The government is clearing out land for people to be able to purchase because they're clearing out and making more areas tourism friendly, right? And so they've got a lot of this land that's jungle, right? On the ocean with these ocean views, but it's covered with trees. So the developers actually have to clear off the land, get the permits, get the titles. When you get the title, that is the best price. As they continue to get on and more people know about it, the prices start to increase. So we have the ability to lock this in $28,000, all right? 300 square meters of land, that's enough for a 3-bedroom house. If you're doing 2 stories, you can actually do a larger house than that. But 3-bedroom if it is 1 story with a yard, okay? With a 4-partner co-invest, the investment would be $7,000 per partner. And of course, we don't know exactly what the return is, but what I'm looking at is trying to get anywhere from $3,000 to $5,500 as a return for each partner. And the hope with this would be in 6 months, because of the fact of they're doing so much development down there that the prices are starting. I'm noticing that every time I go, the prices are going up a little bit, okay? So please write that one down if you're interested in doing a co-vest on land in the city of Barahona. All right, I talked a lot about Sun Village. Sun Village is being developed and built here in Punta Cana. I highly recommend, and I'll talk to you guys about this again at the end of this call. I highly recommend, please come and do an investment tour, guys. One of the reasons I like people to come and do an investment tour is because you get to see the area. So when I say, oh, it's on the other side of the highway, you know what that means. When I say, hey, it's in residential Barbaro or it's up near the airport, you have a vision in your mind of what I'm saying. And so just so that you know and understand, this is going to be about 10 to 15 minute drive from the beach, 10 to 15 minute drive from the major downtown area of Punta Cana with all the restaurants, clubs, and things of that nature, okay? Excuse me. It is going to have security, a swim up pool. The third floor will have terraces with gazebos, and you can add jacuzzis. People who are on the first floor have access to the swim up pool. The middle floor, pretty much you just have your balcony, and those are the ones that are the cheapest, okay? And so those right now, like I said, are going for $73,000. Here's what I want to do with this property though. It is much easier here in Punta Cana to sell a furnished property than it is to sell an unfurnished property. The average furniture package, which means that once your condo is built, they will literally go in there and furnish it for you, is anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000. Since this is a one bedroom, we're going to go on the lower end and add $20,000. So it should be around $93,000. That's what they have quoted us from the developer. Okay. So $93,000, one bedroom, one bathroom with swim up pool, security, and top of the line appliances will be in that unit. Okay. If you want to do a 4-partner co-vest, each partner would do $12,000. And that could be done in multiple payments because I really do want to make this feasible for everybody. And remember, we have 24 months to pay out the entire investment, right? Because you can pay monthly or you can pay quarterly. I'd like to do it all up front so that we own it, boom, it's done, we got full control. But if we need to do the payments monthly or quarterly, we can do that as well, all right? So that total would be $12,000 with a potential return, again, of 30 to 50%. And with these returns, guys, all I did was do 30 to 50%, and that would be per partner. Awesome. All right. The last one that I'm going to present to you guys is Paseo del Corral. Okay. With this one, the furnished price would take us over 100,000. And so remember, I really wanted to kind of keep these under 100,000. So we would do an unfurnished one if anyone is interested in doing this. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. One thing I love about this community, it is going to have 11 pools. It's going to have a pool house, a gazebo. It's going to have a daycare. It's going to be pet friendly. Baby, this is going to be Airbnb friendly. All right. Airbnb friendly. And so with this one, the 4-partner co-invest would be 85-37. So basically 8,500 to partner. And then the 30 to 50% would be anywhere from 2,500 to 4,200 roughly, just depending upon how we do it. Okay. Or how much we can sell it for. So I try to stay as modest with the numbers as possible because you guys know me. I don't like to give these fantastical like returns. Oh, you're going to double your money. You pay, but let's keep it modest. Let's think about this. If the worst case scenario, right? Because the worst case scenario, if we cannot actually sell the property, we would then either rent it or put it on Airbnb and just make monthly dividends. Each partner of the co-invest would make money monthly based on dividing up what we earned on Airbnb. Okay. So that's how that would work. That's your worst case scenario. So if you are like, hey, okay, this is what I've been looking for. I want to get started with this. And I'll tell you something else as well. If you saw something and you're like, hey, I can do that on my own. I don't need 4 people to do that. I have $10,000 I can put down. I can do $700 a month for my payment. And then I can resell it once it's completed. If you want to do that too, you can absolutely do it. All right. So if that's something you're interested in, you're like, hey, I want to do that Sun Village and I want to do the buy low, sell high, let me know. We can do that for you. If you want to do it as a co-vest. here's what we need to do, okay? First and foremost, contact me with the property that you're interested in, all right? We cannot do it. If we're going to do it as a co-vest, we cannot do it until we have 4 people interested in that part in that property. So then I would probably go out and see if we can, find some other people. But that is something to know. If we're going to do it together, we have to find all the partners. Perhaps you're like, hey, listen, we don't need 4 people. I can do this with 2 people. I have me and one other person that I can do this with. We can work that out too. The attorney will just do it for 2 people in the venture. All right. So we do need to make sure though that we have all the partners that we need to be able to put it together. The money will then be sent to the trust. The attorney will be hired and paid. The developer payments are made at that point. Okay. So all payments will go through. And then we wait for completion. We don't know when the properties will be complete. So I like to say 18 to 30 months, 18 on a good side, 30 months, because we don't know if another pandemic will happen, right? I like to, give ourselves some time on that. The investment property is sold and then the investors are paid the dividends, of course, minus whatever the attorney and the management fees were. And so if any of you guys are interested in doing this, just book some time on my calendar. Let's talk about it and find out which property you want and let's get started, okay? And of course, my calendar is calendly.com/talkwithtammy and we will discuss it. Awesome. And again, I do highly recommend, please come to the Dominican Republic, come do a property tour, come do a neighborhood tour with us. We'll make it lots of fun. We're going to do excursions and all kinds of fun things because Punta Cana is a really dynamic place to be. But more importantly than anything, you, especially those of you who are like, hey, I want to buy, put it on Airbnb, and then maybe come live here, like come for the summer or come for a month or 2 out of the year. You want to know, hey, are there good restaurants? So we'll take you around to the area. We'll show you different things that you can experience, okay? And so right now, if you want to sign up for one of our investment tours, it's only $297. That includes us picking you up from the airport. That includes us taking you on a boat ride. That includes us taking you all around. You will get to meet developers. You will get to meet bankers. We're going to actually bring in people from the bank to come in and speak to you. We will have translators here. We have everything that you need for the tour here. So you get all of your questions answered while you're on. Because there's a lot I've learned since doing tours, and now I know more and more and more what people need. And so that's what we're really setting this up for in Punta Cana. It's only $297 if you want to come. If it's you and your spouse together as a couple, because some of the things can be shared, it will be $350, okay? And right now, for anybody who signs up for an investment tour, of course, we're also giving you a free 5-day vacation to Cabo San Lucas, okay? We're giving you 5 days at a resort. All you have to do is pay the taxes and fees, all right? So I hope that you guys will join us on our next tour. And just remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And so that's what we're all about right now with putting together this program. I've been working with a lot of people here to try to make sure, like, hey, we've thought about every aspect of this because we want to make sure that people are protected. We want to make sure that people win, and we want to make sure that people get into the best type of investment strategy where it's going to lower your risk the most, of all. All right. So real quick, let's go to the chat just to see if you guys have any questions. And if you did not get to put your question in the chat, please raise your hand and I'll go ahead and call on you. All right. I see everybody is here putting in where they're from. Oh, somebody said fix the volume. I'm sorry. I just saw that. Were you guys not able to hear me? Okay. Let me know if you guys had a problem hearing me. I'm sorry.
I could hear you the whole time.
Okay, perfect. All right. Can a U.S. citizen get a mortgage in Punta Cana? What are the requirements? What are the real gotchas in getting a mortgage that we need to be aware of? Great question, Miss Shirley. Okay, so number one, yes, U.S. citizens can get a mortgage here in Punta Cana. Punta Cana is very investor friendly. Okay. So if you're saying, hey, I want to do a mortgage on my own, there are banks here that work directly with Americans. Most banks here will give you 60% of your purchase price. Some banks, there's one bank that we like to work with, and depending upon your credit and things like that, they may do 70%. That's the only thing. It's not like the US where you can only put down 3% or 4%, like the Dominican Republic. Like for a long time, they didn't even do mortgages. And if they did mortgages, it would be like 10 years, right? But now they're realizing that people are used to having longer payment plans. So they're starting to offer that. Most of the mortgages are going to be anywhere from 6% to 12%. Sometimes they will have certain times of year where they're offering, where they're giving a good interest rate. And so I do like to let people know about those times. But yeah, it can be anywhere from 6 to 12%, again, higher than the US, because here culturally, people would generally build their house over years, like 10 years. They would just, every time they got a little bit of money, they would pay the builder to add a little bit more to the house. So people really weren't used to mortgages. All right. What are the requirements? They will ask for your social to check your credit. They will check your US credit. Okay. They will ask for W-2s. They will ask for a employee letter. Sorry. And then I'm sorry. They will ask for a letter of employment. Sometimes they will also ask for bank statements depending upon the bank. And that's the basics. After they start reviewing, they may request other things as well. Okay, but those are the basics that they're going to ask for. And then what are the real gotchas in getting a mortgage? Is it a meeting or a mortgage that you're asking there? But if there's a gotcha, I mean, the biggest gotcha is just the fact that you're gonna have to put down 30 to 40%. Like they don't do the US where you can get, these really big mortgages. And then the interest rate is higher. And sometimes just to get processed, depending upon the bank, can take months sometimes. That's the only thing. Like right now, we're working with the banks to try to help them to move faster, And so if you're doing it with me, I'm going to try to come back. Hey, do we have everything that we need so we can speed up this process? So I can say, hey, listen, she already submitted that. What else do we need to get her approved? So those I would say that's the biggest aha that most people have when they're trying to do a mortgage here. Are the profits divided by the percentage of the amount they invest? Everybody is going to invest the same amount so that everybody gets the same profit. Yep, I was trying to figure that out, and we basically, basically came up with no, everybody invests the same amount, everybody gets the same profit, and then that way we don't have any issues or any problems. How are the holding costs determined if the market changes at the time it's put on the market or it doesn't sell? How are the holding costs determined? So meaning how are the holding costs determined if the market changes at the time? Meaning like if the market goes down and we can't get the same price point, in that case, then what we would do, and this is why I would really like to do these as furnished, because then you can put it on Airbnb, you can make money off of it, or you can put it up as a rental property as well and make a monthly payment. And then what we would do then is, if it's Airbnb, of course, we would have management fees because we have to clean it, right? We'd have to hire cleaners. But after the whatever management fee, then those profits would be divided amongst the investors. If it's a monthly rental, then it would just be divided amongst the investors. These examples are assuming that the pre-built is successfully sold prior to completion, right? What if the property doesn't sell right away? Yeah, same thing. So as a group, and that's why I don't want to do more than 4 people, 4 individuals. As a group, at that point, we would make a decision. Do we want to sell this property? I'm sorry, do we want to put it on Airbnb? Do we want to rent? What do we want to do in the case that we've put it on the market? It's been on the market for 30 days. It hasn't sold yet. The good thing though is because I'm expanding my reach every day, literally my email list is growing. I constantly have people who want to purchase. So the first group of people I would go to probably are the people within the group who want to purchase. All right. I need your calendar link. Thank you, Shahara. Appreciate it. I could hear everything. Okay. What was the return on the investment for the unfurnished bedroom at Sun Village? Again, 1 second. And again, these are guesstimations. So I wouldn't, all I basically did was 30 to 50%. Okay. So 90, if we're saying furnished, right now the furnished ones for the smallest 1 bedroom is $93,000. Okay. And so if it went up by 30 to 50%, 30% would be 93,000 times 30% is 27,900. Okay, which would then be divided amongst the investors, and that comes out to be 4,275. If it's sold at the higher end, so 93,000 times 50, percent is 46,500 divided by 4 people would be 8,875. Again, remember, minus the attorney fee and the management fees. So if you do the math, it's probably going to be a slightly off from that, but that's because we've included the attorney fees in there. Awesome. So all of these technically can be paid over 24 months if the co-vest, if you guys want to do that. The reason I did this one as, hey, we could do 3 payments over 12 months is just because of the fact that it was the largest, that's all. And when I was doing this, I kind of wanted to keep the investments like 10,000 or under per person. And so since it was 12,000, I said we could take advantage of the fact that you have 24 months to pay for it. So what we could do is just break the payments down into 3 payments. So then that would be $4,000, right? And I think each person here could probably come up with $4,000 to put down. And then quarterly, you would have to basically submit your other $4,000. The biggest thing is I want to make this as simple for everybody as possible. And that's why I said trying to do 1 payment for each person to get it started. Because if, let's just say, Tiffany, Shauna, and Amber and Sarah all do it, and then everybody does their first 2 payments, and then Amber forgets or falls into hard times and she can't do her 3rd payment, now everybody's affected because she didn't make her payment. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I would prefer as much as possible to do 1 payment or maybe 3 or something like that, just to be on the safe side that the other people in the co-vest don't get hurt by the fact that somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do. And we're open, so if you guys were like, hey, can we try it this way? We can definitely try. I just want to make sure that everybody is protected in doing that. All right, so I think I got through all of the chat questions. Were there any other questions where somebody just wanted to like unmute to ask a question?
Yes, Tammy, I think I was referring to the first Sun Village slide that you have. It might be a bit further down.
Okay, hang on. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. So the difference is unfurnished.
Got it. But the price is different too, though, right?
Right. So if we did this unfurnished, this is what it would actually look like.
Okay.
But my suggestion was trying to do it furnished just because it's easier to sell furnished apartments here than it is to sell unfurnished apartments and rent also. And if the co-vest decided, hey, let's put this on Airbnb and split the payments, we already have furniture. You don't have to go then furnish it, and everybody has to give more money so they can furnish it. So that's why I said, we can do it unfurnished, but I would think that doing it furnished would be a better option for everyone if you want to participate. Okay. Other questions? Do you guys like this? Do you guys like the idea?
I definitely do.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and end the call. If you do have more questions that come up, definitely feel free to send me an email. Again, my Calendly link is calendly.com/talkwithtammy. Or you can email me at traveltradeinvest@gmail.com. Also, if you guys want to know how to sign up for one of our investment tours, let me just take you to the Travel Trade Invest website real quick, just so that you can see. One
Already booked.
Hey, she said, already on there. I already know what I'm doing. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Oh, that's the wrong site. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, so this is the Travel Trade website, guys. If you go over to our events tab, you will see our upcoming tours. Yes, we do have some coming up in January as well. So if you're like, hey, I want to go ahead and book for January or February, just let me know, because the dates for these tours were selected because there were other people who said, hey, I want to come at this time to do a tour. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then that's the date we're going to do the tour, right? So just let me know if you want to do a different month, what weekend, and then we'll go ahead and make a tour out of that weekend just to make it easy for everybody. Also, I get a lot of questions every week about the replays. All the replays will be here under Travel Trade Invest TV. And as you can see, this is the replay from last week. So if you ever don't get the email, just come to the website, boom, 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 and you can see all of the replays right here. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We will come back next week with another aspect of investing here. And if you have any other friends or family who want to invest here, feel free to share the call with them, because the more you know, the more you grow, right? And the more all of us know about this amazing place, the better it becomes. I want to create a community of like-minded, amazing people here who get to take advantage of one of the most beautiful places on earth and just have a ball. That's my goal in life, is to get as many people to see, love, and live in the Dominican Republic. All right. Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy.